Hey again, and welcome back. Today I want to have a play with these things. These are pretty huge supercapacitors. I bought these, years ago now on eBay. They are salvaged, definitely. It says they are NESCAP 2.7 volt 400 farad. And these are interesting caps because, well, they're super caps and they have this kind of like kite configuration. I took a quick look around, and the only thing I could see about this kite configuration is that the negative still applies. This band should be the negative, and it's either that this guy here is the positive or all three of these are the positive. Here's the problem though, I don't have a really good way to test these things. So let me show you what I'm thinking here. I do have this tester here. The pins will never fit in there, so I've got little wires coming off of them. And I know this is not ideal, but let's see what happens if I take this black wire here, alligator clip to the negative, and alligator clip to the positive. I am very well aware that this may not give us an ideal result, but let's give it a shot anyways. Hit the button here. So testing. This could take a while actually. It seems like it's still testing. I think nothing will happen quickly with these guys here because a supercap is... Okay, it says it's a cell. It says like it's a single battery. I don't think so, but then again, I can't really say anything different. Alright, let's move that aside. I've got another plan. Let's try to use my multimeter. There's a capacitance setting here, so I'm going to use the red on red and the black on black. Set this to capacitance. Let's see what we got. So it's somewhere in the nano microfarad. I know this thing won't go up to multiple farads for sure, but I'm going to see what it does. It may be slowly charging up this cap. If it takes too long though, I'm just going to go on to my next idea. Well, let's just say I don't think it's going to do anything, so I'm going to abandon this. But before we abandon, I want to see if this thing collected any voltage. Yeah, so there's 45 millivolts. It's pretty stable, so we're going to use this here. I'm going to keep it there, and I'm going to see if we can use my power supply here to slowly charge this thing. So here's my power supply, and this is a 2.7 volt cap. Actually, I guess I should put this in view. It's a 2.7 volt cap, so I'm going to put this maybe to 2. I don't know, let's go 2.2. 2.2 volts. Okay, so that is set. I'm going to move this here. 80 milliamps. Yep, I think that's safe. I hope this doesn't blow up. But I'm going to connect the positive to the positive. Like that. Negative to negative. My multimeter here will take a look at the actual voltage. And, well, here's hoping this doesn't explode. I'm going to have my safety squints on just in case. Okay, we're in constant voltage. I'm not sure if this is actually connected here. Oh, yeah, connection's a bit bad. Okay, we're in constant current. We're showing 0.62 volts. Why isn't the multimeter reacting to that? Just gonna switch here, yeah, 80 milliamps. So are we losing that much voltage? Because this here says 0.6, this is at 0.46. Interesting. Let's move up the current limit. We're at 100 milliamps now. The voltage is going up very slowly. So I feel as though this cap is actually fairly large. I'm going to move it up to 200 milliamps. I hope this doesn't explode. This should be coming up quicker. It is. Okay, what do we have for voltage here? Oops, that was voltage there. 0.78. This still says 0.45. I wonder what the deal is with that. I don't know if I'm losing voltage in my leads or if it's just literally this thing measures all the way down here and I'm losing voltage somewhere along the way. Seems like there's 200 milliamps flowing. I guess I'll have to verify that. I do have this guy, my unity meter. So I'm going to turn that on to 2 amps. Going to select DC, zero it. You can't really see that because it's upside down, but 206. Almost dead nuts on 200 milliamps. So this thing is charging, but the voltage is going up so incredibly slowly. And just to prove this is charging again, I'm going to unplug one of the leads here, and this here, this should shoot up to, you know, the 2 volts that we set it to. Let's see. Unplugging now. Yeah, 2.2. There we go. So now nothing left to do but to let this charge. Maybe we'll increase it once more. Temptation here is to increase this charging current. Go 0.5 amp. There we go. 500 milliamps. Voltage, we're up to 1 volt now on this device. I don't know what's wrong, this one or this one. I'm going to have to do some testing on that. But this is going up much quicker now. We'll set this guy here to DC, zero that, and yeah, like 500 milliamps. So there are 500 milliamps flowing there. It's exciting. I'm not sure if we'll be able to light an LED at the low voltage, 2.2 volts. Let's see. My LEDs here have a pretty large resistor on them. One's in my quick access box. So let's see if this is enough to light an LED. Let's try down here first, actually. On my power supply, move that in. Let's see if it's pumping enough voltage. No, directly at the power supply, still not enough voltage to light an LED. I will keep it handy just in case. Did this actually show a decline when I put the LED on? Oh, still going up. Exciting but terrifying at the same time. Is this cap getting warm? Nope. This is a old capacitor. I'm not sure if it just dried out on the inside. Don't feel any bulging underneath. This sure is stressful though, since you don't really know what's gonna happen here. I also don't understand that this current is spot on. You know, half an amp, 499. This verified it. This unity meter verified it 480 something, so close enough to 500. But the voltages are so incredibly different from these two. So we're at 105 and this guy's still at 750. I'm going to let that go and see where we end up. I'm actually going to turn off the output and see if this voltage here comes back to normal or stops climbing. So output is turned off and this looks like it's slowly dropping now. 8.32. Well, I guess I'll put this back on and I'll let this go and see if we end up at the 2.2 volts. So I'll leave this on and I'll leave this in voltage mode and I will come back in a little bit. Well, we can see now that the power supply is in constant voltage mode. So let's see, yeah, the current is dropping. So let's bring up the voltage a bit. You can dare going to 2.7, back into constant current now. And let's let that go a little bit longer. Well, I figure we are getting pretty close to uncomfortable now. So let's see, we're still nearly half an amp of charging, but we are at constant voltage. I really wish I knew if this was imprecise or if this was. I know there's a calibration procedure for this, but I have some other stuff on the way that maybe we'll deal with that at some point. But for now, 2.3 volts, I think that's enough. I'm just going to hit the set, and let's see how quick this thing actually discharges. So I'm going to take these off. It is discharging pretty quickly, which is kind of normal for a supercap. I'm going to see if we can get our LED to light, even perhaps dimly. Let's see here, because I do know they conduct before their regular voltage often. No, no go. Not a chance. 2.2 is not enough voltage. I can try an LED without a resistor. I could end up burning the LED, but I guess that doesn't really matter either now, does it? So there's the negative, and nope, nothing. Okay, so I don't want to discharge this too quickly, so let's use a resistor. I think this is a 4. Oh, let me actually try to figure out the value here. So it looks like brown, green, black, black, or black, black, green, brown. Or, actually, sorry. Brown, green, black, black, or brown, black, black, green. So blacks are zeros. That's my multimeter freaking out. Black is 0, brown is 1, and green is 5. So I think it's 1500, 150 and 0. I think it's 150 ohms, which would make this perfect. So let's give this a shot here. Let's see how fast the voltage drops. Not quickly at all. Barely any quicker than just trying to leave it alone. That's interesting. It is possible, however, that the resistor isn't making good contact, so let's try with alligator clips. Maybe I'll try the LED again as well. So alligator clips with the LED. Survey says no. No go. Okay, let's try with the resistor. I think it's 150 ohms. Let's see here. Let's go to amps, DC, zero that out. Yeah, that makes sense. 20 milliamps. 10, 15, yeah, okay. So we are drawing some current. It's just a really big capacitor. I'm sort of afraid, but what if I touch these two leads? Hopefully it won't arc too badly. Here goes nothing. Oh, that was a big arc. I don't know if you're able to see that. This thing has a lot of friggin' power into it. That's interesting. So what about we discharge it in something a little safer? I don't know if you were able to see the sparks there. Depends on the frame rate, really. This should be, it's a 1 ohm resistor. This could get hot. Is dropping. current on that. Ooh, nearly 2 amps. Oh yeah, this is getting hot. Wow. There is a ridiculous amount of power in this supercap. That's ridiculous. Nothing's getting too hot, I hope. Cap itself is cool, which is good. Yeah, that is actually getting hot to the touch. That's pretty insane. Oh yeah, it's really getting hot. So if you do the math, it's nearly 2 volts through 1 amp, and so that's 2 watts in here. It's a 5-watt resistor, so it should be able to handle it. And as the voltage comes down, the current will come down, since it's a 1 ohm resistor. Yeah, that's nice and warm. I've never got these caps up this high. That's pretty nuts. And if I clamp this on here, you should see the current here. The current is nearly the same as the voltage, and that's just due to measuring differences between this guy and this guy, or sorry, this guy and this guy, and also because these leads will actually create a small resistance, especially at the crimps at the end. Oh yeah, that's nearly too hot to hold. That is pretty nuts. I can't believe there's so much power available in this capacitor. When I bought these on eBay, I didn't pay very much for them because they're salvage, but I'm pretty impressed in the fact that it actually works. We're going down and down now. Let's see how much current we're up to. I can put it right around the resistor here if I want. So yeah, nearly a match because it's a 1 ohm resistor. As this heats up, the resistance should go up actually. And so we should actually see this changing. Oh yeah, wow, that's really hot. Let's see the temperature of the cap now. Warm but not hot. That is pretty cool. It's starting to drop now. Now the resistance is up on this, so I'm going to switch it in with a cold one, like so. There we go. Now this thing can warm up over again. But yeah, this one here is actually pretty warm. Very interesting that you get that much power out of a capacitor. Well, now I just need to figure out what the heck to do with these things. If you have any ideas, put them in the description below. Don't forget that these are 2.7 volts, so they're not high voltage. I can chain a bunch of them in series, but then it gets a little bit scarier to try to charge them. So let me know what you think in the comments below. And once again, thanks for watching.